Do you play or practice every day? Do you spend time practicing certain pieces just for the enjoyment of it, or?
Well, you know, the weird thing is I end up preferring to try and write rather than practice. I always think, you know, time spent practicing should be time spent writing. You know, if you can get anything cast in stone. So, you know, little twiddles become tunes. But I like to push myself. I've always done that, so that maybe tomorrow I'll be able to play something that I couldn't play today because it was too bloody difficult. And I don't try and do things that are difficult just for the sake of it, but there are certain things you hear people do certain things and you think, well, you know, that's possible, isn't it? And why can't I do that? So I've always had that feeling that I'm filling in for someone who's much better than me. You know, this guy's going to show up tomorrow or the next day. And I've always been like that. I've never been as good as I want to be. That's the truth.
Of those early albums, which is the one that you think you made the greatest overall contribution to?
The early albums, the Genesis days. Well, spiritually and in terms of enthusiasm and trying to cheer people on as a sort of in-house cheerleader stroke frustrated producer, frustrated songwriter, frustrated everything. I would say from the very first album I joined the band, Nursery Crime, I was always trying to, you know, wring a bit more passion out of everybody, and I wasn't very diplomatic. I was very critical, or so I thought, and I was pushing everyone to get, you know, I said, you know, we've got to get a mellotron, we've got to do this, you know, we've got to get a synth, we've got to do that, this and that. So my contributions weren't always just musical. They were, you know, aimed at the live show and getting our own light show.
And you were quoted as saying at the time when Please Don't Touch came out, that you had no intentions of touring after you left Genesis. Why was that, and what finally changed your mind and provoked you to go on the road?
Well, it's a funny thing. I started talking to someone. It's an outfit called MAM, and there was a guy called Ian Wright. It's the late great Ian Wright, in fact, who said to me, you know, you could do some shows. And I thought, it hadn't dawned on me I could do some shows. I said, well, how am I going to do shows? You know, I haven't got a band, I haven't got a lineup. I had, you know, I had this guest and that guest and that guest. He said, well, you could put together a band. The concept hadn't dawned on me. I was too busy trying to make albums.